Hey everybody, Marcus Crawford here with the Idaho Quadcopter channel. Hey, I'm out at Settlers Park in Meridian today, and you know, we're starting to get some really solid information about the upcoming DJI Mini 3. And I was messing around and I pulled out my little DJI Mini SE. The Mini SE, for those of you that don't know, $299 drone, shoots in 2.7K, 30 frames per second video wise. Essentially it is a Mini 2 with just a few differences. It doesn't tilt quite at that 40-degree pitch angle that the Mini 2 does, and it uses the old style controller, which by the way is one of the handy things about this. I have both of these. I just had them in my pocket, got them in the pocket of my jacket, so really easy to carry around. It's about I don't know, it's in the 60s today, and fairly decent wind. It says 10 mile an hour sustained with 19 mile an hour gusts, but this guy should be able to handle that okay, and we're not going to get too carried away with it. There's a flagpole right here, so one of the things I want to do is just do a little orbit around the flagpole, and we'll talk a little bit about the Mini 3, and I think there's some really good stuff that's come from that. So yeah, and the other thing is I'm going to take a picture of it with my phone and I'll put it up on the screen now. I'm using the GoPro with the Volta hand grip, which gives you all the battery power you need. One of the things that happens when I'm doing these kind of things, and often if I'm going through a couple of batteries flying a drone or so forth, my GoPro often runs out of battery. This Volta has extra battery power in it, and will keep the GoPro powered up. It also has controls right on the front of it that are just very, very handy and make it easy to use. So give me just a second here and let's get this bird in the air. So it's telling me that there's new firmware for the Mini SE, so I'm going to go ahead and update that right now. And it wants me to bind remote controller to aircraft to activate flyaway coverage, so heck yeah, we'll do that. And let's look, it just says that this is optimizing flight safety. So for the Mini SE, it's 01.02.0000. So I hadn't heard about this update, optimizing flight safety. I'm not sure what that means, but it looks like it's going through it pretty quick, so we'll let it get that done. We're just going to do a short flight today anyway. Well, I was hoping it would go a little faster than that. It's been a couple minutes and we're at 54%, so, and it's not moving very quick, so we'll see how quick this takes, or excuse me, how long this takes. Okay, update successful. That took about, I don't know, 4 or 5 minutes or so. So let's get out of there, go back into the flight. In fact, I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to restart everything before we do that, because after an update, you should always do that. So I'm going to restart the drone, restart the controller, the whole deal. Actually, the drone was already off, so starting it up actually turned it on. So I'm restarting the controller here, and in fact what I think I'll do is I am going to also restart the app. So restarting the DJI Fly app, and I saw some other, yeah, it said fly safe update required. We're not going to do that right now. I'll do that later. So let's go fly here. So it says the home point is updated. We've got 12 satellites, so I'm going to get out of the way here so you can see it. I'm just using the microphone on the media mod, so you guys will see that. Let's do a manual takeoff. So both sticks down and in, and that fired up the props there, and let's go straight up. So straight up, and there's the little drone. You know, it's a very stable little guy. Let's bring him in here so you can take a look at it. So we'll get it in close to the camera here, give you a good look. $299 drone. And I'm going to say this guy, often it's more stable than my Mini 2 even sometimes. It's just been a fun little piece. So I jagged it around there so you could see how that gimbal works. And again, this is the DJI Mini SE, named after my friend Johnny Drone Flyer. So let's move this guy around, and we should be able to do a droney this direction. And we are in P mode, which is normal mode. So reverse and up now, reverse and up. And you guys are getting a good look here. Let me drop that gimbal down just a little bit. Yeah, that's almost right on the rule of thirds, and we look pretty darn good on our horizon as well. I'm going to go up a little bit and drop down, and I took off there for a reason, so that we could get a good look at the flag. So let's see if we can do a little rotation. I'm going to do a rotation to the drone's right, and again in P mode. I probably should try putting it in. And whoop, I got a little off there. I was kind of trying to raise as I spun around. But like I said, we're in P mode, so I could put it in Cine mode to get a little bit slower, better, easier way to do it. But there we got a pretty good rotation around. I'm trying to kind of move in at the same time. And yeah, so, whoa, I got a little bit off there, didn't I? So yeah, so if I'd have been in Cine mode, I think we could have done a better job there, but that is what it is. Let's take a look around the park here. So, obviously this park is all about ball fields, and gosh, I'm looking at that car over there. Looks like somebody's used the parking lot for a racetrack, haven't they? Let's go take a look at that and see what's going on. Yeah. Oh, and you know what? I realized I'm not in video mode yet. I made that mistake the other day. Let's get that figured out right now. Let's go in video mode, 2.7K 30, starting video now. I'm glad I caught that early, and we'll come and we'll redo that rotation around the flagpole so that we get some good video of that. So let's see if we can figure out what's going on here. Yeah, it looks like this is probably just a good spot for kids to spin a Brody in their car, huh? Or spin a donut or something. Looks like they created their own little racetrack here or something. So the drone is handling the wind okay here. You know, like I said, it's a fairly windy day. There's a little reveal looking up at Meridian. For folks that are familiar with this territory, that's Ustick Road off in the distance there. And I got to keep remembering I need to stay in front of the microphone on the camera here. I'm not using my wireless mic today. So yeah, giving you a look at the ball fields here. So what do we got? We've got, I'm trying to remember how many here. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ball fields right here on this side. So a lot of softball played here. And again, I'm right there by the flagpole. So let's move in on the flagpole here. Whoop, boy, I'll tell you what, I'm struggling a little bit on the controls here. I'm going to drop some elevation here. Let's get a lot lower. And let's center in on that flagpole. And I'm going to put it into that sport mode. Let's go into Cine mode. And let's get a little bit closer. Moving in on it here a little bit. We want to get a good look at the flag. Drone's right above me here. Okay, let's see if we can go the other direction this time. And of course we're recording, so we're going to get a lot better look. There's the flag in the wind. And this is a little, again, this is just a little mini drone. It's not the Mini 2. Doesn't have that 40-degree pitch angle, but it's handling the wind just fine. So, you know, on a fairly windy day here today. Okay, let's look around here. And we are looking kind of due north now. 75% battery, so we're in good shape there. Let me get back up to the kind of the rule of thirds a little bit and move forward. Let's get back into P mode, which is normal mode on this guy. And we can look over Meridian. Clouds have parted a little bit. The sun is shining down on me. And I just realized I need to turn around and face the drone here. So we'll take a quick tour of the park here. You know, you guys have seen this before, but it's kind of cool to look at. Let's grab some altitude here. I like getting up there a little ways. That way you're not bothering anybody. So this is full stick forward in P mode, and it's going against the wind. And we're at like, I don't know, 6.5 meters per second. Now it dropped down a little bit. So I'm saying that's pretty good for this little mini drone, and that's in normal mode. Let's throw it into sport mode. And let's see what it'll do. Okay, I sport mode and I kicked it on up again. And look at that. It's easily getting up to 8 meters per second. So not bad for a $300. There's 8.5. And like I said, that's against the wind. So this is a little fishing pond right here. The Meridian Parks Department does a really good job of that. They put these fishing ponds in on many parks. And it gives the kids in the area a chance to try their luck at fishing. And look, they've got some benches there for people to sit on. Sometimes I'll see like adults out there fishing, and that always kind of bugs me, because I always think, you know what, isn't that for kids? Let's give kids a chance to catch those fish. You know, you're an adult, you can go out on the river or something, you know. But anyway, let me pick the gimbal back up here. And again, we're in sport mode, so let's try this. This should be with the wind, so let's see how quick we get going here. And boy, it picks right up. Look at that. There's 9 meters, 10 meters per second, 11, 12 meters per second. Moving right along. That's, you know, that's getting close to 30 miles an hour. I'm moving away from that picnic table there. I couldn't see what was down there on that, so I figured I'd just stay away from it. I see a couple of guys doing batting practice right here. They're right in front of where I am, so we can kind of take a look at that a little bit. Looks like he's getting ready. See, let's take a look at a pitch here. There's a pitch. I almost hit return to home. Yeah, you know what I was doing? I was trying to think of going into zoom like I do with the Mini, where you hold down the function button. So the other day, my friend Ryan Duvall was talking about some pickleball courts that they put in one of the parks in his neighborhood. Well, that's a big thing that goes on here too. And I put the drone back into normal mode, took it out of sport mode. And what you see here are, I mean, obviously those are picnic shelters down below there, but there's also horseshoe pits here, so you can play horseshoes. And of course, tennis courts. I got a little aircraft signal interference warning there, but not too bad. I'm facing right towards the drone. But I was talking about those pickleball courts, and there they are. They look like little miniature tennis courts. We'll go right over the top of them here. And they have pickleball tournaments. You can see there's nobody playing right now. But people get darn serious about it, I can tell you that. They get serious about that pickleball. So if you're an amateur, you don't want to get on those courts, because they'll you'll hear about it from more experienced players. So I don't know where new people learn how to play pickleball, but I do know that the experienced people are not. They don't tend to like to mess around with the inexperienced folks much. I've seen it. I've heard it. Being somebody that's out at the parks once in a while, flying drones. Okay, let's move off this direction. Let's go back towards the little fishing pond. Excuse me. So let's talk about the, and I'm getting that, every once in a while I'm getting that aircraft signal interference warning, but it's not affecting the drone or FPV in any way, or my control. So what I was going to tell you about the Mini 3 is there was a leak today. Jasper Ellens had it on his Facebook page called Mini 3 Leaks. And evidently a Dutch company leaked some of the promotional material for the Mini 3. So we know a lot more about it now. And I think it's pretty exciting stuff. And just as I saw when they talked about endurance batteries, so there's a couple of different batteries. The standard battery will get you 34 minutes of flight time, which I think is pretty good. And then what they call the endurance battery, I think they said 47 minutes of flight time. I'm telling you, that's pretty darn good. And then the other big news to me is the camera on the drone is a 1/1.3 sensor. So that's similar size to the Autel Evo Nano Plus, and similar size to the Hubsan Xeno Mini Pro. The cool thing about it is we know DJI will do a great job with that camera. And I think they said, and it looks like a UM or something, but when they talk about the pixels, I think it said 2.4 of that UM size pixels. Well, I don't know what that means, but I do know that it means that they are bigger pixels, and bigger is better and gives you a better picture. They're also saying that it will shoot 48 megapixel stills, so that should be phenomenal as well. And all of this on a mini drone. Getting aircraft signal interference again, and what I realized is I am facing the other way from the drone, so I turned around and got my antenna facing towards the drone, and I did get a little bit of break up there on FPV that time. So we're going to do another big circle here. So then it is also an f1.7 aperture, so it's going to let in a lot of light, so it should be pretty good in low light situations. But the biggest news for me is the fact that it will shoot in 4K 60 frames per second. I like shooting in 60 frames per second. I think it gets you a much clearer, particularly when you're turning or in a yaw. It just is a lot smoother and a lot better. So I was pretty tickled to see that in a mini drone. So then the other big thing is some of the features that it has. And they confirmed, and of course we could see that from the pictures, but they confirmed that it has three-way obstacle avoidance, front, rear, and down. And that it also has APAS version 4.0. So it's going to have reliable obstacle avoidance on it. And so you'll be able to do some tracking with it as well. It's going to have, or I believe it's going to have focus track as well. So should be good. I lost a little bit of FPV there for a second. And I'm facing right towards the drone, so yeah, it's kind of an interesting day here today. Windy, but I mean, the little guy is handling it well. What you see off in the distance there again is the Boise front. that's Bogus Basin Ski Resort off in the distance, and that's looking almost directly towards downtown Boise. And again, we're at, this is called Settlers Park in Meridian. So let's bring it back towards us here. Lots of big neighborhoods here, lots of development. Although I will say that this kind of part of town has been developed for a few years, as opposed to some of the other areas that I go to that there's, you know, it seems like they change by the week. Let's see if we can bring it back over. And again, I'm just in P mode here. I'm dropping the gimbal down. Let's see if we can take a look at these guys doing batting practice here. Let's get some, let's drop some altitude here and bring it in. It was a little quick on the yaw. So I'm over there standing by the flagpole. Let's get some, drop some altitude. Yeah, it looks like they're picking up in there. It looks like they're all done. So, yep. I was hoping to show you some batting practice. Okay, let's go up again, and let's see if we can get another quick orbit around the flagpole here while we're here. And I'm going to go from P mode into sport mode into Cine mode. Let's see if we can get a little closer. What are we doing? Yeah, we're down to 24% battery. Okay, so let's just do a little rotation here to the drone's right. There we go. That looks pretty good in my humble opinion. Looks darn good. Love seeing Old Glory flapping in the wind like that. Let's try something else. I'm going to go right over the top of the flagpole. And you can see me standing up down there. And let's see if we can get right over the top of the flagpole. Yeah, it's giving us that low battery warning, but we're okay. We're right here. That starts at 20%. We're in good shape. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to see if I can do a, well, let's drop down a little bit. Let's get lower. I'm going to see if I can get right over the flagpole. Backing it up just a little bit. And I'm going to see if I can do a rotation. So let's go up and rotate. Yeah, and it's kind of moving off a little bit. And I'm not touching. Yeah, so that affected the, that was the gimbal kind of moving around there. And then this kind of wind looking straight down. So this is a little better now. And what I want you to know is I was just on the left stick there, so it was kind of weird the way it moved off. I think that was a gimbal movement, what I think. 16% battery. Let's, we got enough battery to try that one more time. I'm going to come back down, and it's telling me return home promptly. Well, we don't need to worry about that too much. I'm pulling full down on the stick, and it is not coming down very fast. So let's go into, I didn't mean to go to S mode. Doggone it. C mode. There's P mode. Let's come down. And it's not coming down much faster in P mode. We're still at 14% battery. We're right above where we're going to land, so we're in good shape. Let me back the drone up just a little. Get over the flagpole. And we're going to try that again in a different direction, different rotation. Yeah, there we go. That turned out a little better, didn't it? But the rotation was too fast. Ideally, you would do that a lot slower. Okay, let's bring this guy home. Let's come down. Bringing her down here. Oh, it says critically low battery at 10%, but we're still in the green, so no worries. You know, it kind of bugs me that you got that stupid warning on there, because it really isn't a warning at all. So let's bring the drone in a little here. Get a good look at us before we land. Picking up that camera. There I am right there. And boy, I'll tell you what, it's really squawking, so we won't mess around too long here. We still had 8% battery, so we're actually really in good shape. So let's back it up over the pavement, and I'll show you where we're at here. We're right down in front of the little wall, so let me pick the camera back up, and you're gonna see, yeah, and it's already telling you that it's limiting the aircraft mobility, so let's just go straight down. I'm backing it up a little down. Okay, let me pick up the drone, get everything shut down, and we'll do a quick conclusion. Hey, okay, the little DJI Mini SE at Settlers Park, man, that was a fun little flight, and it was a quick flight. It was a windy day. This little drone handled the wind just fine. You know, it's a little $299 drone. So there's all the talk about the Mini 3 that's about to come out, and I know there's some sticker shock. Some of the prices have been posted, or what we think the prices are going to be have been posted, and I heard a lot of people complaining, oh, it's way overpriced and so forth. Maybe it is. If it is, buy this little guy, the little Mini SE, for 300 bucks, and trust me, you'll have 95% of the fun that you'll have with that Mini 3, if not more. This thing, I'll put the 2.7K video from this drone up against a lot of other drones 4K video. It looks that good, and you saw how well the drone flies and how good the flight controls are on it. So this is one I can recommend. Now the Mini 3, it's an exciting product, and for me, let me turn this camera around. I realized I was not looking into the sun. The Mini 3, the biggest thing that I found exciting about it was the fact that it's going to shoot in 4K 60, and it does have that bigger sensor. It's going to look really good, and you're going to have all those features on a sub 249 gram drone. Again, for people in Canada and Europe and the UK, that's a big deal, and so I predict that'll be a good seller. So anyway, that's about it. This was a pretty simple flight. This is Marcus Crawford with the Idaho Quadcopter channel out, and if you like this kind of content, please consider subscribing to my channel. Most of all, I do appreciate you taking the time to look at this video. And yeah, of course, we'll see you on the next one. Bye now.